Hey gang, it's me, Tim the Mega Retro Geek, and holy cow, what a night we got going on here. This is the Retro Recap, starting on September 13th, 2018. What's going down, what's going all around, and you know what day it is. It's a Throwback Thursday, and that's my favorite kind of day there is. So we're going to start off with pretty much a lot of reboots just coming in, one after another. Holy cow. It's like, again, I think everybody's riding on the coattails of nostalgia, and man, it is not holding back. I mean, we're just going all out. And let me tell you, we're going to start off with Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles. Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles was actually a very beloved GameCube game that didn't get a lot of recognition, but here it is almost close to 15, almost 20 years later, it's getting a second chance. So it's coming back, and I obviously have to say that I'm grateful that the whole entire project is getting online services for the PS4 and the Nintendo Switch. So honestly, it's pretty cool that most of these games are getting released. And the biggest shocker next to it is Square Enix also revealed the last Remnant Remastered, which was exclusive to PC and Xbox 360 only, but now it is coming to the PS4. And also I noticed that the Steam version has been reported being removed. Now Steam users, don't worry, the remastered version is coming out, but my question is, if you already own the last Remnant on the Steam edition, does you get I guess pretty much the remastered version for free, kind of like I did with BioShock, which was a really nice touch. Next up, there is actually rumors that are now confirmed that Katamari is actually coming back. Katamari was a great, amazing platformer that started on the PS2 and then spawned off so many other sequels. The beautiful Katamari from the Xbox 360 is probably my all-time fave by far. But honestly, I have to say that it's just one of those games that just really blends into everything all together, and it's great. But here it is, Katamari Reroll, they call it, for the Nintendo Switch. So it's coming out. That just got confirmed today. And also, Nintendo Direct did not hold back. As you can tell from the background music, the biggest announcement, honestly, was just introducing everybody. We're just saying Luigi's Mansion 3 is confirmed and coming to Nintendo Switch in 2019. So honestly, if you never played Luigi's Mansion, don't worry. If you still got a 3DS lying around, next month we got the remaster of Luigi's Mansion, which actually has been confirmed with a two-player co-op mode, which is pretty cool. Not online. It looks like it's local, so you have to have another copy. But if you don't, you have the what's it called, the share mode, where you can do boss battle mode with your friend, which is pretty cool. But also, I noticed that another great Wii classic is getting remastered for the 3DS. Kirby's Epic Yarn, which is a really great Kirby game, I will have to say. I'm awesome that this game's actually getting into the portable treatment now. So it's cool that now that the 3DS, to keep the library alive, we're even further back than the Wii U, because most of the ports you've seen are just Wii U ports. But now we're going to the Wii library, so I can't wait to see what else comes out. And judging from the way the game looked, I think it might be done to the same company who did Yoshi's Woolly World and Poochie, which is pretty cool. But I do recommend this one greatly, because I've never had a Kirby game I didn't like. I mean, these are really great games. Also, next up, Mario and Luigi's Bowser's Inside Story, Bowser Jr. That was a pretty cool little concept. But I'm here to tell you straight up, though, is Nintendo's here and they throw down. I mean, the House of Mario just pretty much just kept roaring out. As I'm sitting here watching this Nintendo Direct that happened today around 5 p.m. Central Time, they just pretty much just kept coming. And one thing after another. There's going to be a big Splatoon 2 update, really cool, I thought. And also the Mario Tennis Aces. If you haven't played this game yet on the Switch, please do. I mean, I haven't played a Mario Tennis game since probably the Virtual Boy when it first debuted, or the 64 days. But honestly, Mario Tennis is a great game. They're adding more characters, and it's cool. You get 3 characters just for joining a tournament or something like that. It's great. I got Birdo, Shy Guy, the Koopa Paratroopers, and Petey Piranha from Mario Sunshine going to be playable in the upcoming months. All you got to do is just go in there and just play one match, and that's it. You got him. I know they gave away Diddy Kong this month. That was really cool. I love Diddy Kong. He's awesome. Another awesome reveal was for actually multi-platform. We thought it was a Switch game only, but Capcom came out with a beautiful game which will be ready next Thursday on top, which is called the Capcom BeamUp Bundle. The bundle includes 7 games. 7 awesome arcade ports for $20. It will be available on Switch, PS4, Xbox One, and the PC. the beauty of it, it has really good arcade classics. We're talking like Final Fight, King of the Dragons, Knights of the Round, Captain Commando, Warriors of Fate, and two other games that have never been released before on console mode until now, which is Armored Warriors and I forgot the other one, but check it out. Capcom BeamUp Brawlers. Sorry, Capcom Beat 'em Up Bundle, what they call it. $20, 7 games, and they all have offline and online features, up to 4-player co-op mode. So I'm pretty stoked about this one. Next up, so pretty much you can pretty much write off the Wii U right now, because one of the biggest games I wanted the most was the Super Mario, the new Super Mario Brothers series to be ported to the Switch, and yes, it has. They're introducing Super Mario Brothers U Deluxe. The biggest thing is it comes with all the DLC, so it does come with Super Luigi U and actually 2 extra bonus characters to play as. You can play as Nabbit, and you can also play as Toadette. Toadette, though, they really upgraded her greatly. If she touches a super mushroom, she becomes Super Toadette, which means she can actually do the old hover from Super Mario Brothers 2, when, you know, like the princess did it, and now Toadette can do this now, too, when she's in super mode. It's great. And also, she has a rebound, so if she actually falls down, she can actually pick herself up real quick and do a backflip or something. I don't know what it is, but it looks really legit. Let's see. And also, Katamari reroll for the Switch. That will be released definitely winter 2018 this year. 20,000. I'm tired. Don't mind me. So anyway, 2018. So this thing's actually gonna be awesome. So I can't wait to actually play it on the Switch, and I'm really surprised it's gonna be ready this year that fast. Next up was the Nintendo's online services. That was the coolest thing I loved about it, was the actual price of the suckers, only $20 a year. I mean, that pretty much beats a lot, especially compared to Xbox and PS4, where you're paying $60 a year. These suckers, $20 a year. And the cool part, you get all kinds of awesome benefits, cloud saves, thank God, so in case anything happens to your Switch, it will remember your Switch saves so long as you're a subscribed member. For $20, I cannot argue. Plus, you get a 7 free day trial when it comes out. It'll launch this, next Thursday, precisely on the 18th. So I can't wait for that one. And of course, people ask about voice chat, stuff like that. Use your smartphones to actually use voice chat and stuff like that. And moving right along, what else we got? Oh, the biggest shocker. I thought it was really cool, especially for nostalgia purposes. NES-style controllers for the Nintendo Switch. They're actually rechargeable. They're wireless. And the cool part is click onto the Joy-Con area. It's just like, that's it. And it's great. And they'll be available for pre-order, I think, on the 18th of this month. And they'll be $60, so which is not too bad. I mean, you get 2 controllers, but it's like $30 a pop. I mean, a wireless NES controller in this day and age, pretty impressive. Also, Diablo 3 on the Switch will be ready November 2nd, and the greatest part is the file download for the whole thing, or actually the whole cartridge or something like that. I'm not sure, but it's like only 13 gigs, which ain't jack squat compared to like the bigger dogs, which are like clocking in exactly about 40 to about 45 gigs. For the whole entire download. Plus, this comes with all the DLC too. So, hey, one little cartridge solves all your problems. I'm digging it. Also, if you haven't seen it already, is Demon X Machinima. That's a really awesome game. If you love games like Virtual On or Armored Core, check it out. That game is definitely on my attention list, because anything with badass Japanese mechanized robots, really kick ass. And another shocker was an actual, I guess, a successor to Yoshi's Woolly World called Yoshi's Crafted World. But this time the game's changed. It looks almost identical, but you can actually alter the level itself. You just change which way you want to go. You can even go backwards if you want. You can play the game in reverse. Don't matter. It's just great. I like how there's so much variety now. And another thing, Square Enix came back again. And it's funny how this one turned out, because Nintendo just finally, I guess, Square Enix and Nintendo have been friends for such a long time, and it's like, this is pretty much Nintendo's revenge. Like, we're making money now, and we need you back. Square Enix revealed 9 Final Fantasy games for the Nintendo Switch. Nuts. Ballistic. I mean, it was just nuts. The first thing I think they throw at us was Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles in action, which was really cool. Looks really good in action. And World of Final Fantasy, which was exclusive to PS4 and Vita, is now coming to the Switch, but has more bonus bells and whistles and stuff like that. So I recommend that one. Do recommend that one. And what's the next one I forgot? There was also Final Fantasy 12 announced. Yes, the one that was the remastered version for the PS4. Now coming to the Switch. Seriously, Nintendo just keep rocking that bad boy out. I don't know how to do it. And another some bigger surprise, Chocobo Dungeon from the PS1 is coming back again. We haven't had one of those suckers in a long time since the PS1 kind of faded out. Chocobo Dungeon's coming back to the Switch, so I can't wait. So I want to definitely check that out in a heartbeat. Also, another shocker, I was actually, if you like more Final Fantasy, of course the other 9 were included: Final Fantasy 7, Final Fantasy 9, and Final Fantasy 10, and Final Fantasy 10-2 are all coming as well. It's the first time that Final Fantasy 7 has touched a Nintendo console since the rumors that it was supposed to be released on the Ultra 64 back in 1996. Looks like they finally got their cake and ate it too. It's hilarious that we finally got Final Fantasy. Sure, it took about 20 years, but we got it. Yay! There's probably one sad, lonely Nintendite, just chilling out in a basement bunker in the middle of like Area 51, waiting if Final Fantasy 7 is finally going to come to a Nintendo product. It happened. You can wake up now. And they also announced a beautiful Super Smash Bros. Bundle for this Switch. Comes with everything you need: a customized charging dock, a special Joy-Con controllers, and even a digital download code for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. But the bad news, you can't use the game until December. So when you get the bundle, it looks real pretty. But don't worry, at least you're guaranteed a copy. And also, the GameCube adapters announced too. They'll be released on November 2nd as well. Where you can this is basically just a USB port. You plug it in. If I didn't know any better, I think it's the exact same one from the Wii. But because you can actually use GameCube controllers when you attach to it, but it's only used for just that Smash game. Just remember that much. Also, Isabelle from Animal Crossing is going to be playable in Smash Brothers. That was a weird turn of events. I thought that was hilarious. I know we've had the Villager for a while, but now actually having her was interesting. And also, finally, on top of it all, Animal Crossing for Nintendo Switch coming out 2019. Really great game. Loved it since it was on the GameCube and all its other predecessors too. And also say the last one, of course, was New Leaf on the 3DS. That one was really, really good. I do recommend that one by far. But we're gonna head off the night with 2 last things. We're gonna talk about a couple of random, awesome retro finds, and I thought they were awesome. And I like to share them with you. So I will just wrap it up. We'll call it a night because there's still a little bit to talk about. First off, found this out of the cold blue, the Penguin's Duck from Batman Returns. I forgot those Hot Wheel cars. Don't collect many of these, but when I saw the actual Duck action figure, I was like, oh my god, I love this little car. I don't know why. It's just I found it for like $3, and I was like, dude, I gotta take it home because I love Batman Returns. It's probably one of my favorite Batman films. And finally, we got the finds of today. These are fresh finds, fresh brand spanking new. First off, we have Gauntlet Legends for the Dreamcast. This actual port is gorgeous. I mean, it still holds up beautifully, especially played on the proper CRTV, or if you have the RGB hookups or VGA, whatever you have. And it makes up, honestly, between the Nintendo 64 version and this one, I'm on the fence. Now, the problem with the Dreamcast version, I've heard, is that there's too much action going on. The game kind of hardly slows down. The 64 version does slow down if you don't have the expansion pack. And plus, without the expansion pack on the 64 version of this game, you cannot play 4-player mode. Real sad, but this port, it looks just like, it feels like the arcade. If I didn't know any better, I think this was actually programmed on the arcade itself, because it sounds and looks like it too. So yeah, I'm definitely awesome. I can't believe how cheap I found it too, especially gorgeous condition too. Next up, another treasure. I'm grateful this game keeps getting attention all the time. They announced it for backwards compatibility for the Xbox One. It's a really great PS3, Xbox 360 game. It's Dante's Inferno, based on the exact same novel, but with a weird loose base around it. But this is actually a really kick-ass God of War clone. That's all it really is, but it's more deadly and sinful as hell. Literally. But yeah, I do recommend this one. It's really kick-ass, and just the action is just non-stop. And another beloved game I finally found for dirt cheap, and I was really shocked because the value of this little game went nuts when it was announced for backwards compatibility. But here it is, in the flesh, Alan Wake. For people who love Stephen King and all kinds of awesome horror movies, this game just rocks the Casbah. It's great on the 360. It's backwards compatible on the Xbox One. I still love it to death. I would kill for a freaking sequel. I know American Nightmare wasn't too bad. It was all right, but except the first one, I keep going back over and over again. I finished this game at least 7 to 12 times now. I have lost track, but it's really good. Oh, and another one. I've been a huge fighting game fringe lately, so one final piece of the puzzle I actually did find was the King of Fighters 11 on PS2. Nice little cheap copy under $10 too. Complete as well. Most of my games I always try to find complete too, because mostly the other ones, they all are. But the funny thing is, with Luigi Mansion 3 on the announcement and everything else like that, I'm really excited. Like, the Halloween season's upon us, and I'm a big team player when it comes to, like, you know, horror movies and stuff like that. And Halloween itself. I mean, that's my thing, man. If you know me in real life, then you know that Halloween, that's my gig. That's it. That's me. It's like, you think the Mega Retro Geek, you think Halloween. Boom. Trust me, it's gonna say. But made a top 10 list of awesome candies that are so underrated. You know, you've heard of them, and you know they're really good, but not many people have. But honestly, this is just my opinion, so trust me, it's not 100% accurate. But the number one on this list, we'll begin right now, is Rolos. Rolos, I mean, these are the kind of candies that are just delicious. You know, they're dipped in the caramel and the chocolate and everything, and just boom, they come individually wrapped. That's some really hardcore. When each little piece of candy is wrapped individually in tinfoil, you know it's going to be quality. Those candies are actually from 1937. They've been around for quite some time. I had no idea. They're from the UK, so they're like real precise, like milk chocolate and caramel, or caramel, whatever you want to pronounce it. Second, Heath bars. Heath bars with that chocolate toffee thing going on, amazing. Truth be told, those suckers have been around since 1914. Oh yeah. So your beloved candy bar of Heath bars have been around for over 100 years. Mr. Good Bar. Okay, this one is like one of those ones that gets always thrown into random assortments. You get it in the trick-or-treat bags, and it's just pretty much just Snickers, and if Nestle Crunch just had a kid, you know what I mean? It's just chocolate peanuts. That's it. Boom, that's it. The end. You're ordered the peanuts. I'm so sorry. My apologies in advance. But Mr. Good Bar is just like, it's a good day with that sucker. It's got a unique flavor, unique taste. It's not overkill, especially if you don't care for caramel or caramel or nougat. I'm all about that nougat, baby. But next one is a real good one. Mr. Good Bar actually was introduced in 1925. I like to mention the dates of how old, because just realize these candies have been around for that long. It's like, because I keep thinking in the back of my mind, like, this candy hasn't been around since probably the 70s or 80s. Next up was Crackle. Crackle or Crackle, I forgot, I can't pronounce it correctly. I'm thinking, not thinking of the Lego movie, the Crackle, no, I'm thinking of Crackle, which is actually just a ripoff of, honestly, in my opinion, just a ripoff of Nestle's Crunch. But for some reason, it's good. You'll eat it because you'll think in your head this is a Nestle's Crunch, but it's not. It's been around since 1938. It's actually like a German-made candy, and it's really good. It's more Americanized than ever before. Because again, just like Mr. Good Bar, you're gonna find Crackle. I mean, they're pretty much in every assortment bag you can find. They always find the little mini fun sizes, they call them. And next up, my personal favorite is the Zero Bar. The Zero Bar is one of those candies that just, you really have to have a certain je ne sais quoi, or a certain, I don't know what, when it comes to this. It's a white chocolate with just nougat straight up and some peanuts in there. Really good. That's one of my favorite. I just like it. It's like a silver wrapper. And many people who think about it think it's a mint, but it's not. It's not. It's just straight up white chocolate, which is not even real chocolate to begin with. But really cool. Next up, Pixie Sticks. Oh, I forgot. Zero Bar was actually introduced in 1920. Almost 100 years old. Wow. Next up, Pixie Sticks. Man, who doesn't love getting cocaine candy for kids, right? I mean, geez Louise. Actually, they've been doing that since 1942. The truth is, the Pixie Stick started out as just like a quick drink mixer. You just throw it in the water, mix it up, boom, call it a day. But nowadays, kids just pour it straight up. And most kids like us back in the 80s just thought it was cocaine because it was the 80s, man. You do a lot of coke and you voted for Ronald Reagan. And God bless it, we did. No, I don't condone drugs, sex, and rock and roll, but they sure made a winner on me. Anyway, next up, and this is one's weird. Okay, this is a hate-love relationship. It's a licorice candy. A lot of people hate this crap, so I won't talk about it. It is the Good and Plenty from 1893, because licorice candies were one of the first candies ever introduced, apparently, before chocolates were made like the headliners. The 1893, the good and plenty. It's just basically, it looks like Ike and Mike, so be careful. The most evilest thing you can do is that Mike and Ike's are on my list next. If you mix Mike and Ike's with good and plenties, you're gonna make a lot of enemies. Mike and Ike candies were introduced in 1940, so several years later. But Mike and Ike candies actually have that sweet, fruity taste to it. But Good and Plenty looks almost identical until you take that one bite and you're going to spit it right out. But they're really good if you love licorice. And I always find Good and Plenty's like for dirt cheap, especially in a like you ever go to Walmart or something, there's like a pile of candy and there's always like buy two get one free or whatever, or buy two get one free, whatever garbage it is they always have for like $1 or $2, whatever. Like Good and Plenty's always going to be in that freaking pile. And then you have to realize to yourself, nobody's touching it because it's licorice and you don't like that. Next up, number 9, a very popular one in the movie theaters. I honestly feel, but everybody always goes for the sour stuff. Everybody always goes for sweet tarts or Sour Patch Kids. But this one, Junior Mints. Junior Mints is just amazing to me. I'm sorry. I just introduced in 1949, like right at the pinnacle of the movie. I mean, pretty much that's how Junior Mints got popular because they were given away pretty much in every single freaking movie in the 1950s. So if I wanted to go see Creature of the Black Lagoon in 1955, you dang well know I'm going to have a box of Junior Mints ready to rock, okay? And finally, number 10. I love this candy so much. Another Nestle brand candy, because Nestle makes some really sweet stuff. Hey, Nestle, please give me money. I love it. I love you. I'll sponsor you. I don't care. I'll put your logo everywhere. But one and only Goobers, Nestle Goobers, delicious chocolatey peanut nuttiness. Introduced in 1925, the Nestle Goober. These little bad boys are actually quite astounding. It's just peanuts dunked in chocolate and drowned. I love it. But I bid you all adieu. I've overstayed my time, but I'm so sorry to take up all your sweet time because there was so much to talk about. That much I will tell you. But I am Tim, the Mega Retro Geek. And I want to thank you one more time for joining me. And do me one last favor. Stay retro, my friends.